Alrighty, so getting back into the Foundry with my next Foundry mission that I actually made, which is called Floods at Home Part 1, and it continues on with Part 2. But yeah, this one is I made it based on the what happened during the floods through Queensland back in late 2010, early 2011. So it's pretty much divided up between the two. And so this part 1 is what happened more in the regional areas of Queensland, through central Queensland, or coastal region of central Queensland, and through to the south central area. So part 2 is more in the southeast Queensland side of things. Now, as I mentioned here, it's a non-combat mission. So you don't need to go pew 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 at all or anything like that. So it's in fact it actually don't really even need your away team basically. So you probably I'm pretty much going to be throwing them aside basically each time, because you're pretty much just going to be running around by yourself. So I pretty much set up the story at you're back at pretty much at Earth, and you cruise on shore leave because you can ship through some maintenance and upgrades, and this big weather event happened down pretty much in the state of Queensland, pretty much following the storyline of what actually happened down here, but set it up in the future in Star Trek Online. So I try to make it more relevant to the area of the game, more than than today's world. Excuse me a sec, I'll go tell these guys to go stand over there. So right through this, these guys are never involved in anything like that, and they're pretty much going to be following around like a lost puppy. So I'm going to be doing quite a lot of that, throwing them aside. But it starts off around I think like Christmas Day, Boxing Day, where this is the town of Theodore, which is in real life located just west of Rockhampton. And after a whole heap of rain and stuff like that, the town was going to get flooded and inundated, and it had to be evacuated. So I make a town official, have a chat to him, managed to get everyone out. And pretty much they've seen the signs. It's been raining mightily for 5 days now, with the town becoming isolated on Christmas Day. And pretty much safely need to be evacuated. So we got everyone out, but can you just do a final sweep? Just do a final door to door basically. So that's what the plan is here at the moment. Go for a run across town. Now, we've got an injured local over here, who sign on the ground and someone standing over. Not in an intimidating way, of course. And random doctor, the local doctor was, saw her and came to her aid, but she's in pretty bad shape. Bernie, is that you? Oh, I got some scones in the ointment. That's her late husband. Oh, I see. He's suffering from a bit of concussion and stuff like that, and she really needs to be evacuated because she's seriously injured herself. So you put in a call to the space dock, and they are going to send in a medical team to assist. So you make it like a place marker. And he's situation, so you leave them to it and they'll take care of medically wise. Scan for human life signs. That's it. Then meet back up with the city official. minimize that. Minimize my chat too before I forget. Alrighty, so top, everyone accounted for, a lady, and says the doctor, goes, oh, we missed someone. So, the lady alright, and she fell in the mud and was seriously hurt. Shoot. Now medical team with EST, hope Mrs. alright. I'll check with the medical team. On the medical teams, everything's alright, and Dr. Minas says, Dr. Minas has been very helpful, and she's pretty keen to go up the medical side of things up at her space dock to have a good look around. So, feel embarrassed that we need to leave Mrs. Lantern behind. She could have died. In a moment like these, you can't get chaotic. Perhaps you're right. Because it's like a moments there that's sort of like you get in a bit of chaotic scene, probably have some people evacuate and then might get separated a bit. So let me rejoin back up again. But city official asked if you can actually go check the replicator area seem to be playing up. So around diagnostic. Now, I made a little bit of a choice between the two, but I'll pretty much go through and turn the power off to regulate hoses and everything else like that. So mounting some new part from ESD. This is a process of just reconnecting everything back up, turn power on, power itself up, power itself down. No you don't, so give some motivational thing for your replicator to work, and now it's up and fully operational, and stay that way. Try and make a bit of sense of humour in this. So, all done. You shouldn't have trouble doing it now, but it's all great. We've got everything under control here now. I'm grateful Clara can help. Thanks for everything. Alright, so pretty much you've been back up to your space dock, even though the pretty much doesn't let you. And just quickly minimize that for a sec. Just so you know, this is what a space dock used to look like back in 2011 before they did a big revamp and changed it all. So pretty much in the exchange. So you go over and talk, the ops. Excuse me, Mr. Admiral Woody, may I see you, please? Great importance. So you go and chat to her, and especially on New Year's Day. It's a couple of days later now from what happened in Theodore. Pretty much ask you if you can give him a hand down in Queensland again. So away you go. So pretty much where we're going to is the map of, or the map I'll call this Rockhampton, which is the name of a town about in central Queensland along the coast. And pretty much all the water that pretty much comes from, all the water that's around Theodore is pretty much the entire way. It's going to have a major flood. So you can pretty much give them assistance to pretty much save some infrastructure. Alright, so I'll go and go there. Alrighty, so this is pretty much one of the major things that actually happened was to save the infrastructure of the Brisbane, or not Brisbane, but the Rockhampton domestic airport. They put a bit of a barrier around it. It's all waterproof, retaining wall basically to keep the water out from flooding the terminal. So keep a bit of that sort of infrastructure in place, so it'd be a lot easier to get up and running once the floodwaters are gone. So talk to the future talking Rockhampton Domestic Transit Centre. Thank you, sir. Happy New Year and all. There's a lot of water coming our way. We mentioned remaining transport flights departed before we left and everything else like that. You've got this retaining wall or containment field basically to keep the water out, but some reason or other they don't seem keen on transporting it up here. It was a bit of a thing that was mentioned in the Royal Commission into the floods. So about this, soon they've worried about red tape basically. So it made it so like, stuff we can transport it from where it is down in Brisbane up to here. So we'll come over here and somewhere around here. Should check on the map. There it is. It's one thing, gotta be careful where you place markers and stuff like that. That things being memory, don't get land right on top of it. Alright, so that's in place. Now, what's we going to do next? Oh, that's right. Pretty much this is something that you sort of like more of a teamwork thing, but of course you're here by yourself. But I've sort of also deliberately did this, so you should probably see over here that I've set up that we're going to be setting up some pillars. So you place a pillar, so make it up, in some ways get it all set up, ready to go. You got to do this 20 times on one side and 20 times on the other, and I deliberately did it this way. So not so much to be annoying, but it shows the sort of it can be involved with a whole heap of hard work to save infrastructures basically. So, but I'll save you from all this, and I'll just edit it to go to the last pillar basically. So I'll do that now. Alrighty, since that's now all done, I was now heading the other side, on the northern end. Now I sort of like show you around here for a quick sec. I made it sort of like a bit like an usual terminal. You go outside and they go to a landing pad for a shuttle or roundabout. You jump on board and stuff like that, and made it sort of like safety barriers and whatnot. So and make a couple of landing pads basically. Get an idea of it sort of like being a bit of a terminal type thing. So we'll go over here and find that spot. There it is. Ugh, that was close. And then I'll go around and do all these pillars. Yeah, got them all, and I'm missing one. But so I've got all the pillars in place and all set up ready to go. So I'll go back down south, southern end, and pretty much turn the force field on down there. And see, I made the force field go up. And then I'll go around the other side and put that one on. Alrighty, so force field's up around the place and it's now protected from floodwaters. But in real life, it's sort of like with Rockhampton Airport, it was pretty much you couldn't, amount of floodwaters and stuff like that took place. It pretty much covered up all the runways, so, and you see like a big barrier around the terminal. It was surrounded by floodwaters as well. So it was a very big helpful thing to keep the terminal intact basically. But I'll go back here and chat to the manager. Thanks a lot. It pretty much saved us from being set back for a further 2 weeks of getting the terminal back up and running from after cleaning up and everything else like that. Now they pretty much got asked if you can go out to St. George, which is like way west of Brisbane. So we'll head on out there now. And it's sort of like during the same time as Rockhampton was getting all flooded, it was sort of like areas out west of Brisbane that started to get out inundated and stuff like that, so they had to do some evacuations and everything else like that. So Alrighty, welcome to St. George. Just stay. Alright, now go over here and talk to the mayor of St. George. Yeah, I put in a little bit of sense of humor. You all seem to look a bit lost today. Yeah. So I was just playing with you. Yeah. Very attention of having a lot of water coming through again. What than before. But just give it a quick glimpse. It's like back in March, like almost 12 months beforehand, they actually had a heap of rain come through and flooded waters and stuff like that, and towns had to be place got evacuated and stuff like that. So we sort of got used to it, know what to do basically, and so it's pretty much just saying, oh, you got some of your Starfleet co-workers, basically it's gone down to evacuate people from the nursing home. It's pretty much something that happened actually in the floods in the March beforehand, where the nursing home, to make everyone safe there, so they evacuated them all and gave them a flight into Brisbane and let them stay in Brisbane for a week or two. So it actually happened again. So something that took a bit of fancy of going to take another holiday basically. Just a trip into Brisbane. Probably for some of them, probably the first time they've seen Brisbane. So anyway, but So the mayor sat down and come down to help. We're aware of the situation then, so I won't bore you with the details. Senior citizens into the shuttles. Can you give us some assistance? We can get in the way. Sure thing. So come in, and you probably notice the one there that's like in fleet uniform. So somewhere around here I've got a trigger point. Where's that trigger point go? Sitting right on top of it. So come on, you can do it. Oh, there it is. So stuff later in this finest. So I'm Captain Stanley Houston. So he's still reminiscing, thinking he's still a Starfleet captain, even though he's retired. So if you excuse me, U.S. Keaton, of course, his name is ship, who was on, and all that. And a while back, and here he goes again, repeating himself, same long old story. I wish the days of fix my hearing up, basically, and all that. Those are going on holiday, you're gonna have to enjoy it. Just having a holiday for the second time in 12 months. I don't want to waste it more than they're standing here. So, alright, man. Glad you're on the ship. Show some fun. Finest captain stuff like, show some respect type thing. A bit of ego shining through there, but some maneuver he pulled off basically. So he sort of make it like you're hearing this story of his particular maneuver, even though he got his maneuver mixed up with the Picard maneuver. So it's so strange. I never heard of the Houston, remember? And so this is where my yellow there was sort of like me talking. No, he hadn't melded up with the Picard maneuver. Oh, that's right. The Houston maneuver found potato in the meteor and the collided with the bird of prey. That's it. So and things, and pretty much they all get set off basically. Off they go basically. So you come over here, and they set up the pretty much this pillar thing to help keep the water back, same we did with the Rockhampton Airport. And you go down here and see if these guys need a hand. And I pretty much made SES as State Emergency Services. It's all volunteer work. It's all emergency services basically. And things of if you need a hole in the roof or lost people or something like that, you come into action. So brings you, see if you need a hand. We've got a containment field in place, but we're starting to get hungry and thirsty. Yes, I'm thirsty. Could you see if there's anything to eat in town? And so it's pretty much seeing anything you want, grab some food in town. So, but I can't get anything in the way of Vulcan food because it goes straight through that particular person. So I'll go back and chat to the mayor and see whether there's any place that is open I can get some food. Alright, so I talk to the mayor. So, nursing home has been evacuated, but they said you're working on the containment field. I want to have something to eat. Oh, okay. There's not much around town at the moment, so which is a fair walk. The bakery nearby might be still open. Let's go straight in, you can't miss it. So I made the bakery up here. So he's pretty much there to talk to the baker's wife. So somebody can't see you too much. Give him some assistance, but at the moment I'm on errand to go find some food. Can you able to help me, basically? So yep, sure thing. Come on in, but don't forget to wipe your feet. Alright, before we start, I'll show you around the building inside. I pretty much had to build this from pretty much from scratch because they don't have anything like this in any Foundry custom standard maps. As quite a lot of people did, quite a lot of Foundry authors did, was actually construct things to build. It's pretty much made it so like things. Got the baker there, Greg the baker. But I made this make it look like these are ovens. Storage for keeping your flour and yeast and anything else you need to make bread or buns or anything like that. Shelving. Throw a couple of items on there. Over here is pretty much the fridges. But alright, so I'll go back and start chatting away now. Alright, so pretty much I've got some leftover hot dog rolls here and some leftover cold meat and some lettuce, cheese, tomato, basically. So I'm put something together. And the baker, Greg the baker, have a chat to you. And so I make a bit of a sense of humour with Greg the baker, where click through it a bit too quickly, but matters so like, well, here you're a rank of fleet admiral and you're going off to get some bread rolls. It should be getting an ensign or something like that, or crewman to do it and say, be nice, honey. With sense of humour, bit of trolling basically. But grab some bottles, so something for them to drink as well. Alright, so go back and chat to the baker's wife. There you go, 4 rolls. That'd be great. How much for this? With the drinks? Let's see. Sure, credits should do it. Sure, here you go. And over 20 credits. And bag for you, yes please. And drinks too, thanks, happy new year. You too. And your baker's saying, cheers buddy, look after yourself, eh? Yes, you too. As you head out the door. Now, where are we supposed to go? Down here, yep, down here. But first, stay there. Alright, so pretty much you head on back to where the State Emergency Services guys are and give them their food and drinks. Oh, something happened. Glad you made it back. An emergency situation here, Frank. Here you got bitten by a common brown snake. Brown snake, are they dangerous? Yes, one of the most dangerous, second most dangerous venomous snake on planet Earth, basically. So call on an ESD to help. Tell them the brown snake. So fortunately, Starfleet can't cater for with snake bites, because I actually did do some research in there in the Star Trek realm. It pretty much made it that Earth's the only place that got snakes at all, or even pythons. So it made it that Starfleet can't handle any anti-venom, I should say, to handle snake bites. So calling the civilian paramedics to help out. But we're there, give them their food. There's the bakery in town, basically. All that, and don't need to charge me for it. On the house. But civilian paramedics arrive, so you quickly go over and tell them what's going on. With that, thanks, mate. Oh, you won. Anytime. The brown snake should bite me a bit more often. It means a fair pair of baits can look after me. Ouch. You behave yourself. So I go to smacking that back of the head for his little, cheeky saying that he said there. But keep that sense of humour going. But yep, we'll go back to the mayor and see if anything else needs to be done. Alright, talk to mayor. Lost? Are you lost again? No, ma'am, just seeing if anything else you need assistance with. No. All good, on the bigs, on the blood snake. It'll be alright, yes, I believe so. Points of snake sightings, because there's one thing with snakes, they usually like to live around creeks and rivers. Good food source around there. So with rising floodwaters, to just get flushed out a bit more and be out in the open. So it's one thing that happened during during the area of the floods and stuff like that, and it was quite a lot of incidents of people getting bitten by snakes and whatnot. So it was a little bit of a situation there. Fortunately, no one died from it, from snake bites, which is good. So thank you, happy new year, and on back up to a space dock. Alright, so pretty much what I did was I set up a scene of pretty much being on your ship in the engine bay, as you can see by the wall core. And pretty much having a discussion with the tech team that's still doing all the repairs and upgrades on your ship, and to whole tests and everything else like that, and show a place where the Klingons like to hit you quite a lot of times. And it's Admiral Ming has just walked in the room. Now, actually, I should mention, Admiral Ming has just been a relief officer, because the Starfleet Admiral, Fleet Admiral basically, I made him go off on shore leave because you couldn't use that character in the Foundry, so I made it like an improvised character of like a acting Fleet Admiral basically. So you talk to Admiral Ming. In situation with the floods, good, everything's all good, Good to hear, excellent reports on the floods, all that sort of thing, and to agree. And this has been a major event, a lot of news coverage made throughout the Federation. In fact, the Vulcanite Council has offered assistance if required, And this is all before the floodwaters actually started hitting, pretty much hit Brisbane. There was actually assistance being offered from the United States if anyone, if you need any help or anything like that. So, did get in pretty early with people, international countries helping us. So, made a bit of a note of that with having the Vulcan High Council when you just send, any, if you need any assistance. So, but the main reason why I come down and see you is that, they're doing a, like they did here, is a flood appeal. So they're doing a big telethon type thing to help raise money for it and all that. So, and they asked if someone from the Starfleet can come down and visit. So the Admiral's sort of like pretty much got you to do the job basically. So Starfleet will be donating. Yes, we'll put in some donation of towards the fundraising. So just remember you be yourself. I made it so I'd be at something called Piazza in Brisbane by 1800 hours, but I've had to change it a bit, so I'll show you when I get to that particular map. Alrighty, so I'll leave these guys there. But of course it's not exactly a piazza. I ended up having to make it a little bit of a TV studio type of scene, because there's no problems with trying to build a big piazza and stuff like that, big almost like Greek theatres type thing. But unfortunately you can only have a certain amount of NPCs. What's these fellas that you can use. Oh, you gotta stop patting your tribbles. So I had to limit it, double down basically there, but I did put some extra in here. So like, and they're not sitting on their seats, I made it sort of like there's a bit of a studio control room basically. So you got the sound engineer, director, and lighting engineer. So I'm out here and talk to Kitty, who's the floor manager, and introduce yourself and get yourself mic'd up, check to make sure it's working, and you go sit down until you're called for. It's something that's like you're supposed to, when I set up, you go stand on your seat and you go sit down, and obviously they changed it because you used to sit down and just stay sitting down, but for some reason now you hop back up again. So just to make it don't look so annoying, I'll just go and sit down for an emote. Where are you? Down here. Sit chair. Alright, so I'm pretty much talking to the lady next door, sitting next to me, Lisa. She's the wife of the guy playing air guitar. So nervous, you'll be fine and all that, and everything, and then the show starts. The guy there, MC, welcome to Earth and Nights, come together, have a chat, tell them the donations and stuff like that, and of course you got the co-host there. So it's how much we've raised so far and all that. A round of applause, good stuff. All that. Welcome back to commercial break. Welcome back to Earth Nights. And we've got a great guest and a guest artist come on to help out. Welcome Tony. He's do his song. Thanks mate. A quick chat to Tony about everything. It was great to help and all that. We're back after this break. And Kitty just goes and says, alright, your turn. Good luck. Thank you. So I pretty much go up here and just stand in between them. And this is the part where you get nervous. So welcome back. Lisa, how much we raised so far? Raised this amount of money and donations from direct forming and Engines Are Us. I mentioned Acme in there one time, one spot. So big round of applause. Join us on stage, just someone from Starfleet, and welcome and everything else like that. Have a chat and what you've been doing and all that. What you've been experiencing yourself, providing assistance, all that, and the Starfleet is donating $1 million entry credits towards the appeal. So it's all great. Mentions all the volunteers and everything from State Emergency Service and all that, and all the people that helped. And thank you. And head back to your seat. So you pretty much go back and sit down, even though you stand back up again. And you handle yourself pretty well. Yes, and I knew how to in me. So there, still a final bit of wrap up and stuff like that, and how much money to save up, all that. Very round of applause. Thank you for joining us, and bid you a good night. Good night. And really well, sure did. Thank you. Excuse me, because I need a conversation. Can't get the lapel mic back off the. So fleet officer, yeah. Yes, but since you a bit more, I'll go back. Better go rescue my husband before you get multiple ladies. They're nice seeing you, even though it's a short time. Take care. That's the arrangement. So you go back to Kitty. Get the lapel mic taken off you again. Okay, thank you. Nice to meet you. Yes. And off we go. So the Fleet Admiral talks to you, watching the TV up in that space sock. So, I'll pretty much say I'll see you in the morning. But pretty much that's where it actually ends for part 1. So, pretty much I made it. Part 2 was sort of like following on the next day, basically, when you go see the Fleet Admiral, have a chat and report and everything else like that. So it's that's in all in your course in part 2. But so I'll leave it here for this one. So consider subscribing down below, and until next time, have a good one.